2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. First down at Stafford. And this would complete to Andre Roberts. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. It's the former Lion and Ndamukong Suh on the tackle. And on this offensive unit, one guy that's proven himself early in the NFL is Eric Ebron.
A very reliable target for a quarterback. They always love tight ends because they're right in their sight lines. If you get it to this guy, though, he can take it the distance.
On second down, here's Stafford. Ebron caught left side. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. With a carry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And here now the defensive starters for Atlanta.
Desmond Trufant has made a great reputation in a short amount of time in the NFL. A lockdown corner that most teams don't attempt to try.
They go back to Riddick. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. All right, let's look at the offense. Devontae Freeman, this is a guy that you wanted to talk about, so take it away.
Brandon, have you seen a running back play with such joy as well as such fury? I love the way he runs the football and attacks defenses.
Freeman again. Muscles him off. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. And now the Lions defensive starters.
As Darius Slay continues to improve at the quarterback position, he may live up to his own nickname as the Slaymaker.
2nd down here after the incomplete pass. handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Glover Quinn there on the stop.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And the back goes into motion. On third down, Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. They find some open field here. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On second down, Freeman. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Tough spot for the offense, 3rd and 8. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And Jeffrey's got it. Good use of the pass there to pick up the first down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold.
And Freeman lost the football. And the Lions have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes.
That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 77 yards. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. That was a nice little setup there off play action for the long touchdown pass.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, it brings back bad memories for a guy like me as a former defensive back because in a playbook I knew a long time ago, we described that play pattern as draw pass 9 go, meaning fly pattern after the play action pass, try and hit him for the deep ball, and boy, were they successful on that one. So tough because his speed is so great, you've got to make sure you don't miss any cues or keys in order to try and keep up with him.
Draw pass 9 go. That's still a nightmare to this day.
Yeah, I still wake up in the middle of the night and feel the guy going past me.
They come out here in the eye. Now a first carry for their fullback. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Second down following the run. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Here's Stafford now on second down. It's complete to Golden Tate. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. There were a couple holes there, partner. Was that zone coverage?
That's exactly what it was, Brandon. When you see man-to-man, that defender runs with the receiver. In this case, they were just taking care of their zone coverages, their responsibilities on the field, and the offense found the open space.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Second and 10, Stafford again. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They'll come out in the pistol. Stafford. This is Riddick on the screen. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. And Stafford's going to take it himself. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. So it'll be 1st down here after the run.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. After the run, now Stafford going to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Throwing is Stafford, and it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This will be fielded at the 17. Now a hit and a loose football. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. The dive unsuccessful. The big fella can't pick it up.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can. It's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet, the little rubber. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. It's the former Lion, Ndamukong Suh, in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. On second down, here's Stafford. And his throw here's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on third. Third and long, it's Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they had great field position, but a 3-play drive that actually goes backwards, and then they kick the field goal.
And I think the key sequence in there, the key phrase you just gave us, a 3-play drive. Had the momentum, great field position, unable to move the football.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Ryan. Caught right side. It's Jeffrey. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks.
Give them a lot of credit. They ended up running the ball on a key 3rd down situation. They were staring 3 and out in the face and found a way to flip the script and keep the ball moving on offense.
Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And he's brought down. Give him 18 on that one. And it'll give the Falcons a 1st down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
They go play action here on 1st down. Jeffrey with a catch left side. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looks pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Now Gold for the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They come up in an offset eye. Here's Riddick. And this one goes nowhere. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Stafford now on second down. Ebron with it over the middle. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. So out come the Falcons now. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense. Alshon Jeffrey, touchdown, Falcons. Alshon Jeffrey with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. Andre Roberts now to return it. And Detroit getting set to go now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And now they're in the hurry-up. To throw on second down is Stafford. Roberts with it over the middle. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Out to the flat for Riddick. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
The veteran Andre Roberts was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve, as we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They come up in an offset eye. Now Ryan on second down. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. 3rd and long. It's Ryan. And he's got Edelman for the first time. That's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who can make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
Ryan, he's going to wind up and air it out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
I know exactly why I tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Lions will take over. So we're going to look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Now they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jalen Collins. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away, They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Falcons turn that interception into a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with the new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. So out now come the Lions. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. It looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll work his way forward up to the 22. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. 3rd down and 8 now.
Nice play, baby, nice play.
They come up in an offset eye. Throwing is Stafford. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. So they will go for it. Stafford. And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on 1st down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make the play on 1st down. That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And Jeffrey's got it. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Jeffrey had the franchise tag placed on him in 2016. He's showing why here in this one.
And just think, a number of people thought that he would be a number 2 receiver his entire time in the NFL. That's not even close to true. He's a number 1. You've got to get the ball to him often, as they're doing in this one. And that usually leads to great success, as we're seeing in this game.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. That's complete right around the 8. And he's brought down. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. On the ground, it's Riddick. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
Defense looking to hold serve one last time here on 3rd and 7. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And he connects with Ebron. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On 1st down, Stafford here. And it's incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Back to the air, Stafford on 2nd down. And it's a fumble to the right side to Eric Ebron. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line.
And they pick up the 1st down on a 4th down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped him on 3rd down or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
Back to throw. Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. Now Riddick stays on his feet, and they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1, you know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a 1st down. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They come up in an offset eye. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Now Stafford, and incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up 3rd down. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
4 down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Giving to the big tight end on 4th. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And now it's second down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on third down and 9. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain.
Always enjoy a good fake, but I really enjoy it when he throws the football from punt formation. Now, you were a kicker and a punter in high school. Did you ever do that?
One time, threw to my man Tim Jones on a botched field goal attempt. Hit him right in the numbers, and Jonesy just dropped it.
Oh, the poor guy. Well, we had a fake punt here, and this guy caught it. So I think he and his friends will be okay with that one.
And he loves his play call, right? He's been waiting for this one all week long.
Been had that arm loosened up ever since they got to the stadium.
A 20th carry now for Devontae Freeman. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. It's Freeman, and he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up fourth down. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. Here's Matt Bosher now, on presumably to punt, though he did complete a pass earlier. This is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called.
And my goodness, another interception. It's Desmond Trufant. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. So here come the Lions now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now a play fake here on first down. And that's caught inside the 30. They get 39 yards out of that one. And it'll be first down Lions. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play, the one that they got on the previous one. They tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that 2nd attempt. Snap count threw the defense off. 5-yard penalty. So we've got a 2nd and 5. They come out here in the I. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Receivers work all the time on making sure they catch the ball, haul it into their bodies before they turn and run. A little bit of loss of focus on that play.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Stafford looks to throw again. And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
It's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Well, I don't know that we saw a blowout loss coming of this magnitude. Boy, they've got to be shaking their heads in the locker room.
Not only are they shaking their heads, the head coach looked absolutely furious leaving the field. I'm not